We've recently seen the well-deserved retirement of Matchroom CEO Barry Hearn. What role do you feel you played in each other's careers?
Oh, well, once again, being in that right place at the right time was wonderfully fortuitous. The role I play in Barry's success, I think, is only the sliding doors part of it. His talent I've not taught him how to do what he does. I mean, I just used to be in awe of how good he was at selling anything to anybody, and also the way he did it with a panache that I'm not saying they enjoyed having their trousers taken down, but they quite like, you know, he's a great salesman, but also he's not a con artist. He gives people value. And that's why it works. He's totally 100% trustworthy. We had an event once where the sponsors pulled out all the prize money, no prize money. He paid it all to the players. A long time ago, people forget it a bit, but he's true to the sports person. He's got them at heart, and he won't turn these people over. So that for me was like, yeah, good as anything. Drives a hard bargain, but totally fair. Obviously, I was his first player person that he was representing, and we learned the trade together, and it was great fun. He was like my older brother. He was 10 years older than me, and but he was completely the opposite style of person to me, and we felt like we sort of merged well. But watching him in action and watching him grow into the various roles, first as a management company, and then becoming TV production, and then moving it further into, you know, far bigger TV production, you know, taking over sports. It's just been astonishing to watch. And now that he's retired, it just seems like an era has gone of thinking, well, surely he hasn't retired. You know, he's timeless. He could go on forever. And it remains to be seen whether he can take enough of a back step that he doesn't want to still get involved, because I think he's still got a lot to offer. But somewhere down the line, I think he deserves his retirement, because what a grafter. If anybody realised the hours he's done, and anybody moans about their lot, he'd say to them, you never worked hard enough. You'd have to see him in action. I, as I'm total lazy bastard compared to him. I go and practice, put a few hours practicing. But if you ever wanted to know what you have to do to pay the price to become good at something and give yourself a chance to be successful, he knows. He's got the secret to success, and he'll tell you you're not working hard enough, you're not putting in a graft, you're not thinking outside the box enough, but you're not grafting hard enough. Because he's hours. I mean, I don't think he ever slept. Doesn't feel like that.
Was it a benefit to your career having him on side, do you believe?
It was a massive benefit to have him in my corner, because while I was doing my job on the table, I wasn't necessarily overtly that way. I was quiet and unassuming, relatively shy. I started to come out of my shell when I had a cue in my hand, and then the more TV stuff you did, the more you started to realise, well, maybe things are not as, the world's a nicer place. Maybe you can enjoy yourself a bit more. But having Barry in my corner was quite astonishing, because he had the bravado that I didn't have. So while I could sort of quietly go about my job and not put myself under pressure by saying I'm going to win, he was saying that for me. So he was like my mouthpiece in a nice way. And then to have somebody in your corner who was always fighting for you, and also was really able to sell you as a commodity, far better than anybody else in our world had sort of come along before, that was great as well. So it gave me a confidence that we were a team. And in an individual sport, it's something nice to be a team. It takes the pressure off in a strange way. You feel like you're able to work for somebody else, even though you're not. So I had my father, who was my coach, and we were a team there. I had Barry as that team, and between the triptych, it ticked boxes that meant that I could. There was momentum, and it felt like it was something that wasn't going to stop for a while. So once it started, and it felt like all the other players started to think that I was unbeatable because of the momentum and Barry carrying. He's unbeatable. Oh, he's unbeatable. Great. And then all of a sudden, you spot a player you're playing against that day, and you see him checking out at the hotel that morning because they think they're going to lose. Great.
Perfect. And what position he's left the business in as well, obviously handing it to safe hands, chip off the old block, I'm sure.
Yeah, my godson apparently. Yeah, no, he is, mate. Yeah, I still don't, I think he probably. I don't think it's worth me buying him in presents anymore. I can't get him any presents he can't get himself.
Time to return the favour, maybe.
Oh yeah, right. I don't think. Yeah, he's got a wonderful business. Matchroom is just a family-run thing. It's crazy to have seen it grow, and I don't watch it that far. I watch it from afar now, but I'm just astonished to think how many staff involved in Matchroom Sport and how many sports they've single-handedly Barry as well, but now this is a bigger operation than that. How many sports they've touched, and how much entertainment they've given to the sports fan, not just in snooker, golf, darts, fishing, temping, bowling, ping pong, Fishermania. 6 hours live fishing on Sky, live fishing. I mean, if that doesn't tell you he's a good salesman, nothing does. But everybody in the fishing world absolutely loved it because it was real and it was for the people. So everything he's done with that in mind because he's sort of frustrated sports person, but he's got that in his heart. Whatever he produces, like the Moscone Cup 9-ball pool, creates an event from scratch, and it grows into something that is legendary, and that probably as much as anything else. But there's loads in each sport that he's been involved in, and if anybody needed recognition, he got an OBE recently. That's a recognition, yes, but he's had recognition in loads of sports when they put him in their halls of fame because what he's done for that sport and the fans of those sports. Quite amazing. Yeah.
A man of the people, and we wish him his best for his retirement. We'll see if it lasts, but
yeah, I mean, not everybody likes him. Some people can't stand he sort of comes out with sayings. He's very black and white in what he, but most people once they meet him go, oh, actually, even though he talks a game on TV, and I don't like the brashness or the bigness of it or whatever. When you actually meet him, it sort of makes sense that he's actually not. It's not total bravado. There's a lot of sort of feeling behind it as well. But yeah, I am biased because I'm his mate.
But you've seen him step up and pay the money when required. He's very charitable.
Yeah.
Charity-focused individual as well. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, what he's done behind the scenes, charity-wise, quite immense as well. Set up a charity. I think there was like ticket sales from darts for the World Championship. Something like £1 from every ticket sale went towards. It's got a charity arm to it, and it does a lot with St Francis Hospice in our area in Essex. And yeah. But I mean, but you'd expect that, knowing him, you'd expect that he would be giving a lot back, to his area.
Let's wish Barry well and come back to Steve Davis.
Yeah, well, hopefully I get a few more games of golf with him because that's a level playing field. Well, it's not actually because he's useless. Hopefully he improves with more practice.
We will see.